All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the November 17th of the SBA Weekly Developer Call. Looking at the agenda today, it looks like we have an update on the Azure investigation from Baiju. Baiju, did you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. So, brief update about this Azure. So, I started going through this project. Uh, this project, first impression that I got, this is still, very early phase. They call it as beta nowadays, but many parts of the project is very, not that mature. Especially the one that I was looking for, that database related things. There is not enough documentation or anything. Even the API they marked, still it is marked as alpha, and that's all making it very difficult to work with. I was trying to kind of reverse engineering the fields and attributes to figure out what is one of them. And today at least I found some documentation from VMware Fox. They have something written in there, and so certain things. So that was helpful to understand some part of how the database thing is. So I'm going through that. And otherwise, also worked with that Azure, the UI console with the help with Francisco. So I got some idea about how that user interface, and also started using the CLI tool, Azure, that command line tool, which looks like this most easy way to interact with that Azure. And then also figured out one part that I understood is that they're using a common status across all the resources. That means once we change it in one place, looks like it's going to be
Right.
the structure is at least same. Of course, the values depending on the controller, it's going to be different. So that means that making change was easier. I mean, actual structure I could introduce by changing that schema. That was easy. But the controller part, still need to figure out what to do. But before that, I want to make this database itself work, getting created through the API. That was the hard part. But I was able to do this through the console. I mean, their web UI, that was easy, and I was able to connect. Only one issue that was that some firewall issue, but that got resolved by accessing it open for all. Yeah. So this is where the investigation is right now.
Okay.
Quick question: are you able to create Postgres databases through the console?
Yeah. Through the console, I was able to create console, meaning their web UI, yeah, Azure's console.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Azure
and then I was
console.
able to connect to that database. Those things are working. Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's just a matter of
Yeah, figuring out the
getting the
API.
controller. But so the first step is not really to make changes to code. The first step is to get the one of the controllers working, right?
Yeah.
So
Otherwise,
whatever service we can get working, I guess, is the main thing.
yeah, I pasted the link with the the documentation with manual
Yeah.
steps to create through the UI. So this was helpful, but some part of them are actually using their own tools. I mean their APIs to create the secrets and all that I need to change. But otherwise, yeah, hopefully that. But still, I'm getting somewhere. I'm still trying to figure out why uh, some of the status shows that it is
Mhm.
something is missing or another. So I'm not able to figure out still fully. Yeah.
But okay, are you saying that they're not mature?
Yeah, that is something. Yeah,
Yeah, but they have some controllers working, right? So it's not like
yeah, they
they're
have,
not
but not the database part.
alpha. Alpha doesn't mean not working. Alpha means working. Oh, not the
Yeah,
database controllers. You're saying?
no, not the database controller. They have some other. So the one which I'm going to manage PostgreSQL database, similar to RDS in the AWS.
So that one is the one that you're saying is not working properly.
Working meaning through the API, they're calling it as alpha.
I mean, that doesn't mean anything. We call alpha some
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
and it worked, right? So
Yeah, it should work. Yeah, it should work because I'm getting more confident because I noticed this documentation which I pasted in that document. So that gives me confidence that it should work because somebody has documented that.
Okay.
yeah.
Good. Sounds good. Thank you for the update. Any other updates from anyone else or any other topics for today?
I have another question for Baju. The ACK proposal. Are you getting any traction on that?
Oh yeah, I submitted a proposal and there was some response. But right now, there were some questions finally asked, and that question, making it kind of blocker. Let me elaborate on that also. So can I share
Okay,
my screen and
Sure.
explain? That would be better.
please. Yeah.
Where is that? 1 second. I think there was community pull request. Yeah. So this is a PR I sent last week. So there were some simple questions and all. So the most important question that I was getting, kind of blocker seems to me this question here regarding this field itself. So
Right.
the question is the structure. That is the problem. This is what Jay mentioned. The problem is
Uh-huh.
that the status and spec fields are all ACK resources are automatically generated by AWS Service API's model definition. So they have an externally defined model, which is coming from their official SDK, which is not specific to this ACK, that is AWS. Okay, so we don't know if there are APIs that have a binding field in any create operations output shape. So that is something that sure. If there were, that would be conflict with this. Okay,
Right.
this is the
Right.
only thing
That
that
could
you
be
mentioned.
right.
Yeah.
But
So
that
my
doesn't
ask,
mean that's just a risk, right? So it
yeah,
doesn't
that's a
really.
potential risk.
Hmm.
So my response was like this. So can we check if this exists for any API, and also is it possible to reserve this kind of fields for service planning so that it will not conflict in future also?
Yeah, it's a good
So
question.
I understand that this ACK, yeah, if maybe they need to discuss with it may be handled by different team. I altogether I think it's not from ACK project, I guess, because they're getting that as a from different. The model is coming from different project, right? Where they don't have. So maybe they need to have some concerns or something. Yeah. So another thought also came up while reading this question is like started thinking whether our API. See, look at this structure itself. See, this is we are looking for status. Under status, we are looking at a very simple word called binding.
Right.
In my opinion, that is not really qualified names. It's too generic that it could be potentially conflict with existing thing. If you are using some kind of prefix or suffix to make it more qualified names like a service binding, something of that sort, this wouldn't have happened. I mean, it would have been mitigated at least, right?
Right.
The potential conflict. So can
Yeah.
we bring up this as a feedback to the spec itself, and
Yeah. I think
that
so.
way, yeah. Anyway, this spec is ratified, and I don't think we can make this at least maybe for a 2.0. If you are told there is going to be, this could be a valid thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, to consider so that we don't need to keep, yeah, this kind of very generic names.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
This name's collision
Yeah.
is very. This is a specific one-off because, like you said, if you reserve it, then no one else can use, right?
Yeah, but you see, it's like in this case, yeah, they could do something, but now we are approaching different Azure or other projects and all. This problem is there in the white, so we shouldn't have used such kind of very brief short names as a status. We should have been much more lengthy, more yeah, names, so that would have been much easier in my opinion.
Okay.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah,
All
there
right.
are some
Any
other
other?
thing, but that's all I think we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
go
I'm
to, but it's not
surprised. I'm
very
surprised they
important.
didn't ask about the secret generation part.
Ah, yeah, there was something about secret
Uh,
generation. Are the above fields are need to be populated as within a key secret? Yeah, I mentioned that this, depending on the project, this will be. Yeah, he's also mentioned about the. Yeah, there is a question about that creating the secret. How does the controller know what the secret name will be? So I mentioned as controller that whatever the DB instance or whatever the controller that's supposed to generate the secret.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there was some
It could be
discussions
the
also.
same. Yeah, and then that will keep
Yeah,
it unique, right? So it needs to be
yeah,
unique for that instance as well.
yeah. And feel free to respond if you think that something need more that you're anything here. Okay.
But in general, do you see them? Is there only one person?
Yeah, he is the only person responded so far. Initially, respond cool idea. I like this proposed
Cool
method.
idea. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so couple inline questions. So let's see.
Who's he? Let's just you
This
do a
is
little bit
the.
of
I think
research.
he's the leader. Yeah, he is the lead of this technical lead of this project.
Nice.
Jay.
That's nice. I think we should continue working with them then. So it looks like they're open to the idea. So that's actually good news.
Yeah.
Okay. And then let them know, hey, we're this the spec is 1.0. We're looking for feedback. Anything that we can do to improve the whole thing, right? It'd be great to get your
Yeah.
perspective on that, right? And if they adopt this, I think this will be a big win for us.
Yeah. Let's hope
Let's see.
this is
The,
not going
the,
to be a
the, other,
blocker.
the other thing that
Yeah.
will help is like maybe once you got the assured proposal, then mentioning that, hey, yeah, this is we're also doing the same thing with Azure. We're trying to Red Hat is focused on hybrid cloud computing and getting that experience for the actual Kubernetes developer to be able to go cross cloud without problem, right? So I think that would also, well, I don't know in this context, but eventually be worth mentioning that we're not just AWS, right? So
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. All right, any other updates from the team? If not, thank you so much. Have yourself a good day.
thank you, Jesper. Bye.